What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Kings of the Clubhouse. Today is April 1st, 2025. Hop right into it. Decent amount of stuff to cover today. Tommy Zachary, Big Kriegs. Start off with Monday Night Raw. Happened early last night. Well, yesterday afternoon. Last time that's happening. They've wrapped up their Europe tour. Opened the show, Cena and Cody. Best way to summarize this, they both let each other have it. Continued to build the heat between them, which is good considering this is the last noted appearance for Cena until Mania, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm sure they'll do something along the lines, but
yeah, they'll end up doing something. I don't see a world in which, I mean, maybe I don't know, but The Rock was in London today. There was rumors that he was going to show up. He kind of teased it a little bit on his Instagram by posting something about London, and there was speculation he was going to show up, but he didn't. But yeah, so best way to put it, like Zach said, um, they just let each other have it on the mic. They both kind of, I think, if that was the part three, like the last part before they face each other, I think it was a good way to go out. They were both back and forth. You could tell it was really eating at Cena. It was really eating at Cody. Like it was a really good promo between the both of them.
Vince got brought up, AEW got brought up. Both got brought up without saying their actual names, so. But if you're aware of both of them, then you know that's what they were talking about.
Right.
Good little segment between the two of them. Then we had our first match, New Day versus a mystery team, and that mystery team ended up being the New Catch Republic returning. Tyler Bate is back since first time since August, I think it said.
Yeah, I think they said 9 months.
Tor's Peck. They had a good showing. New Day got the win, but it is good to see Tyler Bate back, and it gives Pete Dunne something to do. That's not R-Truth. Like, I love R-Truth, but Pete Dunne's way too good of a wrestler to be stuck doing that,
Right.
doing stuff with him.
Yeah, it was really cool to see them get back, get their feet wet again. I'm sure, like, there's just a bunch of shit to do in the tag division. I'm sure this is just going to lead into whatever they're going to do at Mania. It's cool to see them back. It feels like they're kind of pushing the heels, or this heel New Day. Kind of feels like they're going to get another title run, like one last wrap it up title run. And I think it's cool. I think it's really, it's, I think it's really, something to look forward for the New Day. They haven't, obviously everyone was kind of skeptical on them breaking up, but I think this is a good way of them sticking together, but really changing kind of their way of doing things.
Yeah, and then afterwards, they got on the mic and said they wanted their tag team titles. They went face to face with the War Raiders, just outside of the entrance ramp. It's the first time we've seen the War Raiders in a couple weeks as well, but I think they'd have a good match. I can't. I don't know if it'll be just them at Mania.
I mean, I could see it being just New Day and War Raiders for those two, or for those titles, and then the other pair have a multi-tag match. I could see them doing that.
I just don't see them doing two straight up team-on-team matches.
Yeah.
We had another match. Gunther versus Jimmy. Gunther beat down Jimmy, won the match, and then attacked both of them after. Cuffed Jimmy to the ropes and bloodied Jimmy in front of him. It was like what Randy Orton did to Triple H when he punted Stephanie.
Yeah.
I think it was 2009.
Yeah.
But wild time. 09 buzzcut Orton, bald Orton was something.
Lethal.
But it was good to see something different. I'm still not diving into this feud, but this did get me a little bit more interested. So
yeah, the only thing this does is I think the reason they did this was because they want to give the fans like an out for them crowning Jimmy. Like, oh, Jimmy did it because of Jay. Like he had the
Other way
strength.
around.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Jay did it because of Jimmy. He had it was because of his brother that he's finally able to beat Gunther. And I think they're doing that because a lot of people don't want Gunther to lose to Jay. And I think this is like a way to justify it almost.
I think no matter what they do, it's people aren't going to be happy with the result. So I get what you're saying, and I see what they're trying to do too. I just
Yeah,
they're just
unfortunately, it's gonna one way or another, people are gonna be pissed about it.
yep. And we'll talk about it in a minute.
We'll pop
Finn
into
and
some, or yeah,
yeah,
my bad. We'll pop into some more tag team action. Finn and Dom beat Penta and Braun after Braun spears Penta. Flips him out of the way. Penta, there was a mean spear too. Took it, then Finn hit him with a coup de grace, and that was kind of that.
his first pin too.
Yeah, yep. Penta's first pin that he ate. Uh, which that makes you think that there's going to be something with Penta and Braun at Mania. But then there was a promo or afterwards where Finn was like, "Yeah, we did it. I beat Braun or Penta, and I deserve a title match and yada yada." I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to be a multi-match, and Dom's going to get in instead of Finn, and that's how they're going to break it up, or something like that.
I think it's going to be a fatal four. I think the four guys in that tag match are the four guys going for the title at Mania. I think Dom will win it too and set up the feud for Dom and Finn after Mania.
Yeah.
But still got 19 days, 18 when you're watching this, till WrestleMania. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
Yeah. Just it's crazy how fast it's coming up.
It's flown. This first 3 months are done, and it's feels like we were just watching the Rumble.
I know it's crazy to think that it's April already.
Insane. Time flies.
Birthday month.
Speaking of
Baby.
Mania, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles is official. They had a face to face, and Logan laid out AJ, which I give Logan to anybody else. Like I give AJ anybody else, I should say. Like he's too good to be succumb to facing Logan at WrestleMania. And I really hope AJ doesn't put him over.
I hope not, but that's kind of what it's setting up to look like. Logan gets booed out of the stadium every time that he touches the mic, which is cool. But I think AJ is going to end up putting Logan over and continue keeping on because AJ is wrapping it up here pretty soon.
I wouldn't say soon. I think he's got a couple years left. So I don't know what your definition of soon would be.
Yeah,
for
a couple years. That's what I was trying to say, basically.
Main event, Rhea versus Io with Bianca as the special guest referee. Ended in a double DQ. They all kind of just beat each other up for the duration of the match. And Bianca had enough and just had to ring the bell and said it was a double DQ.
Yeah, she ate a boot from Io or from Rhea, and then ate a drop kick basically from Rhea. Or god damn it, I fucked that up again. She ate a boot from Rhea. She ate a drop kick from Io, and then really like Zach said, rolled out of the ring, called it, and then that was that.
And then Rhea laid waste to both of them and stood over them with the title. So, like we talked about for a couple weeks, it's just leading up to their triple threat at Mania that hasn't been announced. But the writing's on the wall. Mania main events have been announced. They were announced on Friday Night SmackDown. Night 1, Seth versus Punk versus Reigns. Night 2, Cena versus Rhodes, which is kind of what we figured. If you've been watching us the last couple of weeks, we've been saying that. But I think with Punk telling Heyman that wasn't his favor. I think Punk's going to win the match. And then Sunday night, he's going to exercise his favor and get put in the match with Cena and Rhodes.
I don't think that's what the favor is going to be. I think the favor is going to be him turning on Reigns. And so what I think is going to happen is Seth gets hit with a chair shot from Roman, and then Paul hits Roman with a chair shot. And then, that was the favor. I also saw something that Seth could be kind of orchestrating everything, and Paul ends up with Seth somehow out of all of this. But I don't know. There's a bunch of different things you could do.
There's a lot of different things you could do with that.
Obviously, Paul Heyman draws an audience in himself. So whoever you stick him with is, something to. It's definitely going to be a big push with whoever you put next to him.
All right.
We'll talk about a little bit of some March Madness over the weekend. Unfortunately, both of our teams did lose. Michigan lost to Auburn on Friday. Wasn't, the Michigan at halftime, it was a close game. Michigan came out of the second half on a little bit of a run and then just shit the bed. I think at one point it was like a 25-4 or like 25-6 or something like that run between like over a 10-minute period. They had a shot to do it, and they
were up 7 with 6 minutes left and ended up losing by double digits.
Yeah, and it just proves that, Auburn is the number one team for a reason. Even though losing 3 out of their last 4 before the tournament, they're still as hot as can be.
State beat Ole Miss on Friday. A close one that was a headache to watch. But they won, made it to the Elite Eight, and then lost to Auburn on Sunday. Shot like crap. Didn't have any whistles go our way either. But when you shoot like 25%, you're not going to win a game.
Yeah, you guys had the open shots. You just couldn't hit them.
Had 2 long stretches without points, and you can't do that against good teams. One thing I am glad to say is this is the last COVID year. So we won't have 24 and 25-year-olds playing college sports anymore.
That is true.
I saw something that said that Auburn's average age of their starting 5 is a year younger than the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep. They have like 24 and 25-year-olds starting. So I think they have 1 freshman.
It's insane.
Yeah. They've all been transfers. They've all been all over the place. There was a graphic that had all of them, like all the Sweet 16 schools, where they started and where they were at now, which was pretty cool.
Purdue had all 5. State had 4.
Yeah,
Those were the 2 teams that had the most.
Yep.
But lost it's a good season. We were projected to bottom half of the Big Ten, end up winning it. Beat Michigan twice. Won 17 conference games, made the Elite Eight. It's a very successful year.
Yeah.
Sucks to go out that way, but
on the flip side, same thing for Michigan. Wasn't really, obviously with Dusty May, his first year, wasn't really projected, or what, there was kind of a toss-up on what he was going to be able to do. Ended up panning out, won the Big Ten tournament, made it to the Sweet 16. I think for a first-year coach, turning the program around, it was definitely a big step in the right direction. So it's bittersweet. You won't have all those guys this year or next year, obviously. We already had Scottie Pippen's son announce that he's going to the portal. We talked about it a little bit last episode, I believe. But, it is what it is.
Entered the portal before they played.
Yeah, it is what it is. Got to get, the cool thing is, yes, we lost this last weekend, but at least we're not Maryland. Their coach left. So...
Yeah, and or be a team like Indiana where you have no returning players.
Yep. So it's definitely now both teams can get started on doing what you need to do as far as the portal and stuff, but it was good. It was a good season overall.
Final 4, Auburn, Florida, Houston, Duke, all 1 seeds. Only the second time ever. The other time was 2009, I think it said, or 2008.
Yeah. when
With-
Derrick Rose was a 1 seed with Memphis.
Crazy that as long as the tournament's going around, that's only the second time that's happened.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to watch the games. I'm not as interested.
I mean, I am.
As it would be.
There's these 4 teams are really good teams. You know what I mean? Like I think they match up well against each other. I think we're gonna get 3 really good basketball games next weekend.
I'm hoping so.
I believe we're gonna. Hopefully.
That'll do it for basketball. Hop into some Cubs to wrap up the show. Split with the Diamondbacks this weekend. 2-2. Won 10-6 on Thursday. Lost 1-8 on Friday. Won 4-3 on Saturday and lost 6-10 on Sunday after giving up 8 runs in the 8th inning. Kyle Tucker hit another home run in the 7th to put him up.
No, it was in the top
4?
of the 8th. Top of the 8th.
Was it top of the 8th?
Yeah.
Put him up 4, make it 6-2, and then the bullpen just imploded.
I don't know what to think. I don't know if it's a Craig Counsell thing. I don't know if it's just early in the year. We don't know what we're doing with our bullpen. I don't know if guys just had an off day. But there was no reason that we should have lost that game. I mean, we had all the momentum in the world. Everyone played, really. We didn't really make any bad decisions as far as like who to put in. And then in the 8th inning came, and it's like Craig Counsell didn't know what he was doing.
I'm not blaming him in the slightest.
I know, but it's just
you can't walk 8 batters.
I know, but it
and
also
they were the highest scoring team
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest thing is like this isn't the first time we've seen a collapse from the bullpen though in led by Craig Counsell. Like it just makes me think of last year. That's why I want to blame him.
I get what you're saying, but Jed and them didn't help the bullpen this year.
No, you're absolutely right. They did not.
So I'm not throwing any blame on Counsell. He's working with what he's got.
Yeah, it sucks.
David Robinson's still a free agent. They got outbid for Tanner Scott, who wanted to be a Cub.
Bullshit.
And announcing Pelicans announced Zion and CJ McCollum will miss remainder of the season.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
But I'm not blaming Counsell. Cubs had the chance to help their bullpen out and they didn't. They got that deferred money or that money for Cody in the trade and didn't use it. It sat in their pocket. Sat in the Ricketts' pocket.
Yeah, I guess
I'm not.
The only good thing
We're 6 games in. I'm not diving too far into it.
I guess the good thing is Roki looks like he's crying on the sidelines, so that's interesting.
Yeah, they swept the Tigers. They should have lost the second game.
Yeah.
That I don't know how that they reversed that call. The play at the plate, which
Dodgers.
The Cubs started the 3-game series against the A's on Monday night. Time of recording, they have not played. We'll talk about this series on Friday. Bats did look better this weekend besides Friday or Thursday. No, Friday, yeah. I mean, they scored 11, 15, 21 runs in 4 games. Not mad about that. Bullpen seems to be in the same position as it was last year. Like I said, it's 6 games in. It's not too early to harp on it.
Yeah.
We'll see how the next week or 2 goes.
Hopefully this series with the A's is something, and like you said, the bats have been hot. Hopefully they stay hot. We got our top 3 of our rotation pitching, so we got to get these wins.
Cubs sit 2-4 currently. Cardinals are 3-0. Reds 1-2. Pirates 1-3, and the Brewers are 0-4.
Brewers look like shit.
They've given up 40 or 50 something runs in 4 games. Insane. Love to see it though. I'm not opposed to them getting their asses kicked.
Yeah. A little bit of controversy to it.
Yeah, it's unwarranted. Jerks and Profar received an 80-game suspension on Monday for PEDs. Says he didn't know that he was taking it. It was illegal. Something I saw that it was the same testosterone regulator that Manny Ramirez got suspended for, which you take after you take steroids to normalize your testosterone. So
that's you're kind of like, hey, I was taking this, but it was because I was
you
weaning
can't really
off
get
of
yourself.
them.
You can't really get yourself out of that. Yankees hit the shit out of the ball this weekend against the Brewers with a new torpedo bat. Sparks conversation online if they should be allowed, which sounds like they've been doing research for several years and that's 100% legal.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is that people have been using these bats for the last couple of years. I mean, it just hasn't been to the extent of how much some of these ones are like this year. But like, there's pictures and stuff of they'll adjust the bats and make the barrels a little bit longer, a little bit more bowed out, and I mean, there's a lot of controversy on what's going to happen. The MLB is going to have to come up with something. They're going to have to come. I don't know.
They're perfectly fine.
I know, that's what I'm going to say. They're either going to say, yeah, it's completely legal, and then everybody's going to shift their shit to it, or they're going to say, yeah, everyone, just like how a football is uniformed as this, and a baseball is uniformed, they're going to have to uniform what a bat and the dimensions of that stuff is, more than they already are.
They will not do that with the balls changing every year. They're not going to uniform anything when it comes to equipment like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be another argument for the CBA whenever it comes.
Yeah, which we won't have baseball that season.
No, we just won't. It's after the 2027 season. We're just not going to have baseball.
26 after next year.
Yeah, so my bad. So for the 2027 season, we're just not going to have baseball.
Oh, not looking forward to it. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I got nothing.
Nothing for me.
Appreciate you guys watching. Drop a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. And we'll catch you guys on Friday. Peace.